Hey everybody, welcome to the video. I'm Maverick and today I'm going to be showing you how to find all the hidden stash locations on customs plus some of the gear that you can find inside of them. This is going to be ran in offline mode, and I've always kind of felt like an offline gear that you get in offline is completely different than the loot tables that you can get from the live matches and a live game. But it's not that far off from what you can actually find inside the stashes in a live game. By the way, I stream every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 10 p.m. Central Time over on Twitch, and you can find the link for that down in the description below. Alright everybody, so we're going to be starting off over on Boiler side. This one is going to be in the little corner next to the trailer and also where the hole in the wall is for the new addition that they added. This one is going to be a wooden stash, which these tend to have a larger inventory, therefore you have a higher chance of finding something a lot better inside these in my opinion than you can in the plastic barrel ones that you can find out in the world. The next one is going to be down the wall towards the extraction. It's going to be in a bush along the wall that is just before the telephone pole. And this one is a wooden stash as well, so it's got that larger inventory inside of it. The next one is also around in the same vicinity kinda. The best way to find this is to look at the pipes that are coming from the boiler silos that are going into the building right next to the extract. It is going to be on the side that is facing towards the building with the scav on the couch. And it is going to be a plastic barrel stash. And I know I'm beating a dead horse at this point, and the plastic barrel stashes are the ones that have a smaller inventory compared to the larger wooden stashes. The next one on our list is going to be out back of the scav checkpoint. This one is going to be along the wall that separates the new expansion of customs from boiler side of customs. And this one is going to be a large wooden stash. The easiest way to find this one is if you're going from the new expansion and you're traveling into boiler side itself. Just before you go through the hole in the wall, turn right immediately, follow the wall all the way down towards the fence line of scav checkpoint. It is going to be the second bush that you come across. The next one is going to be the one that is on road to military. The best way to find this one is to start from the scav checkpoint and make your way down the dirt road out into the new expansion area into the woods. It's going to be to the right of the gate next to a couple of dumpsters. This one is a little bit out of the way, but it's also near two different spawn locations. So if you spawn, you can immediately go straight for this one and get it right away. Might be a little Bitcoin inside there for you. Next, we're going to be up at the hilltop that overlooks the gas station. You start from the power line pylon, immediately look over towards the trailer. You'll see the blue fence. Just to the right of that fence, you want to go straight towards it. There's a bush right next to the fence. There, you're going to find a plastic barrel stash. Now, this next one's going to be a little bit tricky. You can start around at the same area. It's definitely recommended on that. But you need to follow the dirt path that leads down to the road that leads to the military base. Going down the road, there is a pile of rocks on the left side of it. Once you get to those rocks, turn left and go into the trees. You're going to find two trees that are right next to each other. In between both of them is going to be a wooden stash that blends in with the grass that's around it and also some shrubbery. It's a little bit of a tricky one to find, but you can definitely reap the rewards from it now that you know where it's at. The next one is going to be a little similar to the first one at the hilltop. Starting at the pylon and moving past where we found the first stash at inside the bush that's next to the fence. You'll come across a dirt trail and it's going to be at a chain link fence inside of a bush. Now this next one is literally right next to a spawn that is up the hill from the derailed train that's on the tracks underneath the pylon. If you're going up towards the pylon, it's going to be just to the left, lodged underneath the chain link fence. It's a little tricky to get to. You have to crouch down and look a little under the fence itself to actually get the pop-up for the menu. Again, this one is right next to a spawn, so If you are spawning there and you're checking it, please be wary that there is a spawn also for players that are right across the hillside, and if they have a long range weapon, they can easily snipe you while you're looting the stash, because there is not really any bushes or anything around that give you any sort of cover whatsoever. The next one on our list is that if you're coming from the train tracks from the forest area, there is a arch that is over the train tracks. The next stash is going to be at one of the posts, specifically the post that's closest towards dorms is where the stash is going to be, right at the base of it in the corner. On our next one, it is easiest to find if you start within gas station and you're over by the fuel tank that is next to the collapsed walls. Go behind that. There is a chain link fence and also a concrete wall that is slanted forward towards the fuel tank itself. Jump over between the chain link fence and the leaning concrete wall. The stash is going to be right at the corner next to a tree that's immediately on the other side of that jump. So this next one is actually one of my favorites, but also is kind of a dangerous one as well, because this is going to be out back of the gas station. It's going to be right between the wall and also the pipe that is right there that runs along towards boiler side. It is going to be on the opposite side of the bush from the little jump point that you can use to jump over the wall at. Now this one's a little bit embarrassing. I just recently found it, but it is going to be inside the warehouse area. It's going to be down inside of a crater that is next to the warehouse that has the 3 entryways on it. The crater is going to have a bunch of scrap metal. Down inside the crater on the outskirts of it, there's going to be a plastic barrel stash down inside of it. It's honestly not that hard to find, it's just kind of out in the open, and normally when it comes to stuff like that, I just don't find that stuff. Next is going to be over by the bus stop on the other side of the train tracks from the gas station. If you're standing along the wall right next to the barrier that's fallen over, looking towards the train tracks, look towards your left, and then basically walk straight into the trees, and right in the open, right at the base of a tree, there is the stash right in front of you. This one is not honestly that hard to find, although I didn't actually know it existed until more recently, but it's definitely the kind that's just kind of hidden in plain sight. Moving over towards dorms, there's a dirt road that leads to the dorms itself, and at the center of the road there is a blue container on the other side of a pipe if you are facing towards the bus stop. Inside of the container, the stash is at the very far back right. You definitely need to be careful because this is definitely a hot area to be in. The container can sometimes become a kill box because at the back of it there is a door that's open slightly, so someone can be walking by and they can shoot you right through that door. Moving down just to the south part of the map, either just before you're going to be going across the land bridge at the south part of the map or after you have gone over the land bridge, there are actually 2 stashes down the hill from the bus stop that has the sandbags and the light post that's fallen over onto it. All you do with that one is just simply look down the hill. There's going to be a pipe that leads out into the water. The stash is going to be just on the other side of the second concrete support piece that is leading down towards the water right next to a bush. Now from that one, if you look towards the main bridge with all the vehicles that are on top of it, there is another pipe with 2 concrete support pieces. Go between the 2 support pieces, and inside that bush right there, there is going to be a wooden stash. Now that is actually going to be the last stash location that is on the map, and those are all the stash locations that are on the map itself on customs. Surprisingly, there are no stash locations that's on the other side of the river over near Big Red. They might add more possibly in the future, but at least for now, these are the stash locations that are on customs. Now if you guys want to see the Streets of Tarkov teaser video that I did, you can click on this video right here. If you want to see some other random Escape from Tarkov video that I've made, there's a video right here that you can click as well. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, you can click on my face right here.